Hey everyone, making a video today for one of my go-to meals when I don't have time and I don't feel like being fancy, and which is most of the time. Anyway, people have been asking me about these videos for cooking for single people or for people that are busy, don't have time. I'm gonna make a really healthy meal in a very short period of time, no recipe needed. That's the best part. You don't have to get a recipe, just get ideas. That's what this is all about, getting ideas, getting creative, doing what you like. So today I'm going to do my egg wrap. Really super simple. You could put whatever you like in it. I'm going to show you what I put in mine and how I make it, and ways to cheat and to make sure that you have everything. These are kind of some of my staples. These are staples that I almost always have in the house, and I can always whip one of these up. And they're good for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. I'm making it for dinner tonight, so let's get started here. I'm going to show you my eggs. So the thing about eggs, I buy really good fresh eggs. So even if I might not eat them very quickly, they're going to stay good in my fridge for a long time. Eggs don't go bad for a very long time. So these are my favorite. You don't have to get organic, but again, use what you have. If you don't want to go and shop, but like I said, you buy these, they're a little bit more money. If you do the math, they are $7 a dozen, but we're only going to use 2 eggs. So again, very, very inexpensive dinner here. So the wraps, the trick to the wrap is I always have frozen wraps on hand. I could almost always find wraps in my freezer. So when you buy them, the trick to having frozen wraps and that you could use them is, of course, they're not frozen when you buy them, but you're gonna have to, before you stick them in the fridge, in the freezer, separate them. Otherwise, they won't come apart. So when you get the wraps, just peel them all apart, and then you can see how easy these are to just pull apart once they're frozen. If you don't do that, you might not get them apart once they're frozen. So I'm just going to make one, and I have my oven heating, and while that's heating, I like to use butter. Use whatever you like. Use oil, don't use oil. And for eggs, I do use a non-stick pan. I usually use cast iron skillets, but scrambled eggs are they're just messy. For scrambled eggs, I'll use this. So let's get this nice and melted. I'm going to throw this in the oven, let this warm up. And these you can warm up. There are so many different ways you can warm these up. I warm them up in the oven. I used to have a toaster oven until I got my new oven. That's a split, so I have a very small oven now. I don't use microwaves, but if you use a microwave, you could probably heat them up in the microwave. You could heat them up on a skillet, get a bigger skillet up, and warm them up on the skillet. I use the oven. Like I said, before I got this oven, I had a toaster oven, and I just did it in there. So let's get this going. I don't know, I think this is just an old habit that I use butter. I don't know why. It's supposed to be a non-stick skillet, but anyway, I still do it. Now when I make scrambled eggs, again, I want to make this as easy as possible. I'm going to scramble these in the skillet. I'm not even going to use another bowl. So I'm just going to put these right in the skillet. Some people use milk in their scrambled eggs. I don't know why. My mother used to. When I used a bowl, I did too. I have no idea why you put milk in scrambled eggs. But again, I'm trying to make easy, quick meal. So I just scramble them right in here. Because if you scramble them in a bowl, now you got a dirty bowl, right? So we'll keep it as clean as possible. Clean cooking. So the great thing about this is it's super nutritional too. You'll see in the end when I put my add what I like in my wraps. And again, here's where you could get creative. I don't put any salt in my eggs. After I put in salsa and guacamole, I don't use a lot of salt. So again, if you like salt and pepper, this would be a good time to put it in. I like salsa in mine, and I'm going to take that after I scramble the eggs up a little bit. Put a nice, again, use as much as you like. I put about a big tablespoon in there. Mix this up. While that's heating up, I'm going to quickly check my wrap, which is warm and thawed out. Doesn't take long. I just put the oven on 250, nice and warm. Turn this off. This is just about done. I personally like dry eggs. Some people like them, cook them to whatever you like. For some reason, runny eggs I can't even look at runny eggs. I have to scramble them up really fast. So I'm going to cook these pretty well done. Yeah, I was never able to eat sunny side up eggs. I have a gag reflex if I eat raw eggs. So I can't even watch Rocky when he eats that raw egg. I have to turn away. I have to turn and look away. So anyway, these are cooked the way I like them. I'm going to put them over here. Put this over here where you can see this. So here's where you can be creative. Again, I like salsa in mine. You have fresh tomatoes. Also, I'm going to put in one of my favorites. And again, this is a staple in my house. I always have salsa in my house. I always have eggs, and I always have wraps. If I'm out of any of these items, that's very rare. So another one of my staples, I almost always have guacamole around. I was a little lazy today and didn't, so I like to make my own guacamole because I've become a little OCD about plastic. So I try not to buy products that are in plastic anymore, like crazy OCD over that. So anyway, I'm going to put some guacamole on here. And again, here's where you just take liberty. Just put whatever you like in there. If you like cheese, get some shredded cheese, sprinkle some shredded cheese on top. So the good thing about shredded cheese, if you didn't know this, you can freeze shredded cheese. So again, you can buy a package of shredded cheese, use a little bit, and it'll probably, if it's frozen, I would throw it in the skillet with the eggs so it thaws out and melts a little bit. And whatever you have around, you can throw in here that you like to go with eggs. Here you go. This is my dinner. We've got some veggies in here. I've got protein. I've got my wrap. I'm going to wrap this up. Again, like I said, I'm not very hungry tonight. If you're hungry, make two. So there you have it. We have my egg wrap for dinner. And again, this is good for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. So hope you enjoyed this, gave you some ideas of what to cook. And again, I think I got this done in less time than it takes you to sit online for a drive-through. So instead of going to that drive-through, make yourself an egg burrito. I have almost nothing is dirty. I got one little dirty skillet. I'll have a dirty plate and a dirty spoon. So that's it. So the kitchen stayed clean. Got a delicious dinner, and I don't have to be at the mercy of some fast food chain. So anyway, hope you enjoy it. Make yourself one. And stay tuned for the next one. I don't know what it is yet. So anyhow, egg burrito, and thank you, manja.